everybody. J.M. Manion backstage here at the 2020 NPC Lode. I'm here with this dude that was putting on the show, Chris Minnis. What do you say, Chris?
Man, it's been one heck of a show, huh?
Yeah. Now listen, what he has gone through in the last 48 hours, let's be honest, right? Went from potentially having an audience, competitors going to have to wear a mask, competitors don't have to wear a mask now on stage. Nobody here, you can limit it to blah, blah, blah. Give us, I know what's going on. Tell everybody the process of what's just happened.
It's been wild. You know, everything is changing day by day. You know, originally this was the grand show, the beautiful production that it's one of my favorite, and I was so excited for you to come see it. And as things progressed, we realized that we wouldn't be able to have an audience, and the casinos were specifically regulated with just 50 people. So we came here, and at that point, we thought we'd be able to have 50% occupancy. That ended up getting rolled back to 50 per the entire venue.
Right. Now, we are at the Reno Sparks Convention Center, in case you weren't aware.
From there, what happened, I actually have been sending letters and making calls to senators and governors, fighting literally every day. And we were able to get to 50 per room, which allowed this show to flow much better. And people that have their family here at least and their coaches so they could feel comfortable. And, you know, that's such a big part of it for us is that the athletes feel comfortable, they're happy, they feel at home. And that was a nice part of it to be able to add that. But then on Thursday, they said masks are required throughout the whole state. And now we had, you know, this whole new problem. And fortunately, because I've been driving the people in the state crazy, we've had some.
Nobody believes that, do they?
There's one guy who says I'm a little pushy. I don't know. Sometimes it works with us. Sometimes it, okay, yeah. Most of the people, his last name is Manion. But sometimes it works in our benefit. And this time it did. And this morning, I was able to confirm that people didn't have to wear masks on stage. And that was, you know, these girls work so hard on their makeup, you know, and you've got all the photos that we're taking. So, you know, we worked on fighting to get as much as we could into the show till the last minute.
Now, listen, before we go on, I'm just going to look right at the camera and say, those of you who are keyboard warriors and are posting comments on the NPC News Online Instagram pages about the masks, know what's going on before you chastise us, okay? You guys don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying right now, you're saying stuff that is not true. Know what's going on before you render your opinion, which has become wrong. Anyways, that's my rant. Back to you.
Oh, I can't wait to see your comments.
Oh, well, no, they make fake accounts.
Oh, is that right?
They make fake accounts.
Oh,
so
yeah, understand that we're just following protocol here. There's no politics in this. It's really just this is what the rules are set by the state, and the state will pull a business license if we're not in compliance. So it's really important every step of this was in compliance with the state.
Listen, what you people don't see here is approximately every half hour somebody from this convention center was walking through this room and the pump-up room to make sure everything was on point all day long.
And this was a new challenge because we have a new format that's never really been done before. We scheduled everything out. My team has been here for about, I think we're going on 13 hours. You've been here for 13 hours. Because we have to take these breaks. We can only have 50 people in this room. So say Bikini Class C had 20 people in it.
And the 50 includes us.
Yeah.
And this includes the staff too. It's not just 50 competitors.
So when those 20 come in, we hit capacity. And then they leave. We've got to clear the room. We have to sterilize everything again. And this process is happening over and over again a day. But what we've done is we've put on a show during this COVID lockdown. And I know you and I, we love this sport. We're dedicated to the athletes, and we know how hard it is to not have that goal. And especially a lot of people started in January, and there was no way that I was going to let them down. You know, I didn't want to reschedule October or November. I didn't want them to give up and go, oh, I guess I'll just go in a gain season. No, they're on point, and they showed up. We had, the biggest show since COVID, right? And that's, you know, thanks to you guys.
And listen, there were 3 others. So there was 4 NPC contests this weekend. That was it. All in diverse places. We had Wisconsin, we had Alabama, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and here in Reno, Nevada. And that's it. Worldwide, this was all there is with the NPC this weekend, okay? So, listen, nobody had, for hard numbers, nobody had over 100 competitors. But guess what? We did it for the competitors that wanted to be here. Everyone, all 4 of you, all 4 of you promoters.
Yeah. That's what it's about. And, you know, the team here, you, NPC, everyone is so passionate. They've been so supportive. This convention center, this city, Reno, I mean, I'm so glad that the Legion is going to be here now. This is a kind of our warm up. And if you haven't heard, the Legion is moving to this convention center in October.
And it'll also have a what?
An NPC show. It's going to have a lot of things, but we're very excited to have an NPC show now finally as part of the Legion. But that's in addition to the biggest Masters Pro show in the world. We have every Masters Pro division, and we've added IFBB Pro Open Bodybuilding. It's going to be a massive show.
Now, Chris is having a Masters Pro Photographers division, and he told me I already won. Sorry, guys.
You were a shoo-in, and it wasn't politics.
And it's the biggest Masters Pro Photography show in the world because I think it's just me and Marcello, though, right? That's it. So,
I don't know. Maybe,
I don't even know if Marcello's Masters.
Maybe like Dan Ray or somebody like that. Just round it out. So, yeah, man, it's going to be, we got quite a year coming. And still, this is our first show of the year. Normally, we'd be at 2 or 3 at this point, but we've pushed some of the shows into the fall. You're going to be at a couple more of the shows at least, which, we love having you here. You help dial things in every time. And that's our goal, is to put on a better show every time we put on a show. We're any good bodybuilder, we got to bring our best package.
Yeah, and I seem to be spending more time on the West Coast now between Center Podium and Spectrum.
Yeah, right. It's that Pittsburgh weather. You're just looking for an excuse.
Yeah, and I'm spending a lot of time here in Nevada now between, Reno and Vegas. With Pat Sampson shows also.
It's really great having you out here. It really, it's nice because you guys are on the East Coast, you and your dad, and, even Steve. So to have, some representation from Pittsburgh, it makes our shows feel more complete. And I know people really enjoy having you here, and getting the coverage from NPC News Online goes very far.
Right.
And having these athletes on the West Coast who may not have gotten that recognition as much, they get that recognition, get their names and their faces out there more. So.
Yeah, I know, like in December of this year, I think I'm going to be 23 consecutive days West Coast.
Wow.
From Spectrum all the way to the Olympia.
Dang, we got to get you an apartment. Just in the center somewhere. Or Reno, we'll get you a spot in Reno.
Well, I have an alternate bat cave. I just can't tell you where it is.
That's right. One of those gold mines up here. Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of the bat cave, the superheroes at Legions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you haven't seen, Chris did probably one of the coolest things ever. Was he had an artist draw me as Batman and then put me on the 9th Street Bridge from Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh city skyline behind it. And everybody thinks that I'm holding a gun or something. It's a camera. It's actually a camera. It's really cool. But he's done this with Mark Anthony and everybody else. Come on, tell us the whole reasoning and how you got into this whole thing with that.
So I feel like, like my generation, I looked at He-Man. It's like, I want to be like He-Man. We all...
You just wanted his hair.
Well, I wish. It's not as luscious as yours, though. So jealous of this thing. But we all have this like inner superhero that we want to be. And I think in reality, there is something special about all of us. And when you come to this stage, you come so far and you've done what, only a fraction of the population could ever achieve. Make it to the Olympia stage or the Legion stage or the Arnold stage. And so we get to know, I know you pretty well. And I took that, I know you love Batman. That's no secret. But putting you in front of Pittsburgh, I have that building on fire in the background. That's Tyler, just causing trouble. Tyler's his son and our VP. But we're doing this with all of the athletes, and now we're doing them with the winners of the Legion. And we just finished Dave Henry's,
which looks pretty freaking cool. I saw it.
We haven't released it yet, but he got it inside. So everybody who wins the Legion now as a pro gets to become a superhero. And I get to know him. I say, I called Dave Henry and I said, what are you into? He said, I'm into guns and I like this character and that character. And so, we incorporate things from his personality into this superhero. And it's a pretty cool piece towards the end.
So the one question I have is, why is Mark Anthony the only one without a shirt?
Well, it's hard to get him to put a shirt on, That kid, any excuse to peel that thing off. I'm like, we're in IHOP, man. Just put it back on. Yep.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked out the Legions, besides the superhero aspect, and tell them a little bit about the trading cards, which is really cool.
Oh, this is something all ages really love this. So, we turn these guys into superheroes, and we make these IFBB Pro trading cards, and we give them out to all the sponsors, and they each have a few different characters, and people have to collect the whole set. And once they collect the whole set, they come to the Legion booth and they can trade it in for T-shirts or registrations.
But it's very hard to get the whole set. Why?
There's one particular card. We'll liken it to the Monopoly game at McDonald's. It's hard to find a boardwalk. Well, this guy is boardwalk. The JM Manion or the Bat Manion card is the rare one. So you need that to get the whole collection and get the prizes.
Yeah, at last year's contest, it was really cool. Was this family and this little boy, he was about 8 years old, got the card and somehow figured out that I was the guy. And then wanted his picture with me because he went around and collected. I could be honest, it was the coolest thing, this little dude coming up to me.
JM becomes very, I was going to say famous, but coveted at this event. Everybody's looking for JM. So he's the most popular guy at the Legion.
Yeah. So anything else about this event? I mean, I know Chris had wanted me to see. I've heard about all this stuff for everything's going on, but putting this on and the stage with what we have now, what can people expect in 2021?
Well, normally this show is at the Grand Sierra Resort Theater. It's a 3,000 seat theater. It was remodeled to the tune of about $10 million. What we had planned for this year was Cedric McMillan was going to come and guest pose. I had actually bought a turntable like Arnold had in Pumping Iron. He was going to come out to a live string orchestra. I had a number of acrobats, artists who were going to be hanging from the ceilings and doing all kinds of crazy things. And that also has a built-in LED panel that we incorporate a lot of graphics as part of the event. So it's a kind of thing. For me, I want to make this sport something that if you're not necessarily a participant, you see it, you're fascinated, and you want to know more. So anybody can come in and watch that show and just have a blast. And that's what it's about. And that's what we'll expect next year. And all of our shows have that kind of feel, an entertaining kind of feel when we're in a normal circumstance. And even this, if you've watched the live stream, we had a lot of great programming that I hope you guys enjoyed in between. But yeah, the future shows a high level of production, a high level of entertainment. And we're here to entertain. We want you to have a blast.
Yeah. So to wrap everything up here, to find out what's going on in future, what the rest of this year, go to centerpodium.com, go to NPCNewsOnline.com. We have everything on for what you need to know for all the contests that Chris is promoting here. Anything else you want to do a shout out to?
And I'm just thank you for being here. And at the end of the day, thank you athletes for committing to us. We'll always commit to you when you commit to us. There's no way we're going to let you down, and you didn't let us down. So thank you.
All right, J.M. Manion.
Chris Minnis.
And we're signing off.